Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stoneman, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about crystals and zodiac signs. I'm going to title this video Crystal and Zodiac Signs to catch the attention of people who are looking to learn about crystals based off zodiac signs. And before you run away, this is not the video you thought it was going to be, because that's actually the worst way to learn about crystals in the entire world. Now, people who I've seen learn about crystals and zodiac signs, they go hand in hand. But you should learn them in order. When you're going to second grade, do you learn about first grade before you get to second grade? No. How is it? Let me just... this topic's very important because people will say, okay, what crystal is good for a Taurus? And that's how they're new to crystals. So and let's just say they go online, and that person, let's just say that person's being sent black magic, and that's the biggest situation that they have to deal with, right? They have to deal with someone sending them black magic, someone doing hexes, curses, evil eye, etc. And online says, okay, you're a Taurus, maybe citrine's good with this combination of zodiac. And the person's like, well, I'm new to crystals, I don't really know. And by the way, I'm trying a new camera today. If the sound quality's off, then I'll switch it, but today I'm trying something new. Now, the person will be like, okay, they'll be like, zodiac signs, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, like they'll say their moon, their sun sign. Most of you are using Western astrology, but really depends. Because there's Western, Eastern. This is not going to be an overcomplicated video. This will be a straight to the point video, but when it comes to crystals and zodiac signs, you're not going to get the most helpful crystal to you. Now, what if it said, get molded because you're an Aries? No, that's not going to be helpful to you at all. At all. It's going to be ungrounding, as a matter of fact. But I believe everyone should start with clear quartz and black tourmaline. Why is that? It's because how does a tree grow? Does a tree grow from the top to the bottom, or does it grow from the bottom to the top? So the same thing with how the tree grows is that if you're looking at the bottom of the tree, and the bottom of the tree is the root chakra, the sacral chakra, then you're going up the tree, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the crown chakra, right? Well, if you start at a different chakra and you're trying to learn crystals, it'll be a little confusing because, some of you have gotten the first crystal and it might have been amethyst. That's a crown chakra crystal. But sometimes amethyst can kind of be used as a... I have been singing a lot, so if my voice is a little scratchy, I got happy with some throat chakra stones. This is one of the only videos I'll have a little tiny bit of a scratchy voice, but it's fine. I'm happy. When I'm happy, I sing, so that's why. But let's talk about throat chakra crystals for a second. Blue chalcedony. When you have blue chalcedony, it'll help you sing your heart out. It'll help you have a new singing voice. It'll help you have new abilities to sing. But when it comes to you learning about crystals and zodiac signs, I like to say whatever crystal is most helpful for you to have first. Okay? So let's say black tourmaline is the most helpful crystal to you. Now, if you've gotten some other crystal first, like you're trying to attract more wealth, but one thing online said get this crystal for this zodiac, and you're flat out under spiritual attack, and you got a crystal that's not really going to help you under spiritual attack, but it's based off your zodiac sign, so that's okay, right? Not really, because I believe you should start with crystals in a specific order. So start getting the protective crystals first, like black tourmaline, and then you can get hematite, because it's very protective. You can get red jasper. You can get smoky quartz. Okay, you've gotten some of the more protective crystals. Maybe if you just want to start with black tourmaline, it's a really good starting point, because black tourmaline is super powerful at grounding you, balancing the root chakra, and opening other gifts, because if the roots of the tree are suffering, then the entire tree will suffer. Now, and I've just seen some of the most horrible zodiac information taught, and I believe that, okay, let me say this right now, I believe that crystals and zodiac signs are very important when they go together, but it's not ever how you should start off in looking for crystals. Another way you can start off with looking for crystals, and this is very cool, you've learned this from me. For example, if you're going to my website, floridastoneman.com, right? And I clean the energy of all my crystals before I put them on the website, so you can practice this technique. It's actually a Kabbalistic technique, but you take your right hand, You take your left hand, you put your right hand over your left hand, and you go over crystal necklaces, for example, on my website, floridastoneman.com, and you look at the picture and you scroll up, not with your clicker, or not just with your phone, but you scroll with your hand. And whatever the most dramatic energy reaction you have to a crystal with your hand, and you feel like a buzzing, a tingle, a vibration, maybe you feel like just a chill, a warm sensation, like you feel excitement, you feel happy, you feel maybe not happy, like maybe you feel trauma pop up, whatever crystal that you go over on the website, because I have real crystals on my website. A lot of crystals online are polymer, clay, glass, resin, etc. But with my website, you'll see that they're real crystals, and you go over each crystal with your hand, and that's how you can actually find out which crystal is best for you as well, because your energy field is literally saying, hello, I need this crystal, or I need this specific energy to move past a certain trauma that I have not had in my energy field yet, and that's going to be the most helpful thing to you. Another way you can find the most helpful crystal for you, because people will be like, okay, Aries, or like Gemini. Okay, you might have crystals that online says is good for the birth month of Gemini. Let's just say for the month of February, an amethyst is the gemstone. I think so. I actively try to not look at gemstones per month, and I actually think it is amethyst for the birthstone of February. I like to reinvent my own birthstone calendar based on what I know, but I'll do that eventually because I don't agree with a lot of them. A lot of them are very good. Like, that's a good combination. February and amethyst is a very good combination for a birthstone and a birth month. But what happens if you don't need amethyst because you're already... I mean, let's just say you do need amethyst, but it's going to be one of the less helpful crystals to you, right? Like, if you are trying to start your small business and you can't get off the ground because you don't have the energy or the funds, you got amethyst that doesn't attract... It attracts wealth and royalty, but in a very different way than pyrite does, because it'll help unblock your solar plexus and sacral chakras, and to the point where you're starting your business a lot earlier than you thought you did, and everything's popping, and it's attracting wealth, it's actually protecting you, etc., and it's closing energy fields in your aura, but you chose to get a crystal first based off of your zodiac sign, which was not overly helpful to you. It was cool, the crystal did its job, but it's not the most helpful crystal for you at the time. That's why some of you will get the crystal and be like, okay, the crystals, I don't really feel it that much compared to another crystal. It's because when you have another crystal that you actually really do need and it's really helping you the most, then that other crystal's really going to be doing the most to help align you. That's why some of you will get a crystal, and you'll pick up a crystal such as bloodstone, and you'll feel fire and brimstone, and it's just going wild, and that crystal is just, its energy surging through you, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, I don't feel the crystal anymore. Did it stop working? No, you're actually on the vibration of the crystal. You're getting the help the crystal needs, so it doesn't have to go in overdrive. That's just another reason. So, and another reason I say that learning about zodiac, I mean, getting crystals based on your zodiac signs is not the best. I mean, just to start with, later on, because I really do have to touch upon this right now. Your zodiac sign's more than just your sun sign. It's more than just your moon sign. It goes way deeper than that. If I'm to prescribe someone a crystal based off their zodiac sign, I have to look at their chart and be like, okay, this is going to help with this at this point of the year, at this point of your life, okay, etc. I am not doing astrology right now. I'm not teaching astrology right now because I'm studying them all at once to the point where I'm not going to teach something I don't fully 100,000% know about until I'm 100,000% comfortable with it, which is why I'm teaching crystals, is because I really know and can actively channel different energy of different crystals to be able to teach and help you guys learn about crystals. So when it comes to zodiac signs, you're more than just one sign. Like, you're saying your sun sign when sometimes that's not even going to be helpful to you. Like, you're like, oh, I was born in April, for example, and you're like, oh, Aries, okay. Aries can, and this is actually where it gets dangerous, is because lots of misinformation is online. So there's a certain category of people who will literally farm your attention and farm your energy, because they're like, oh, careful if you're tiger. I mean, careful if you're tiger eye. Well, if you're a tiger eye, you shouldn't be watching my video because you should be a stone. But if you are an Aries, you shouldn't be wearing tiger eye. And I'm like, you guys have seen those videos, and they catch your attention. People share them. People controverse about them. Like, oh, well, that's correct. Well, the lady, she said something no one else said. Listen, that lady doesn't even wear her own crystals. Some of her crystals she has is fake. I'm not even going to say who it is. Certain people who don't care about crystals will use crystals to try to sell crystals because they think it's profitable, and they don't really care about it. And people actually catch on. because when you're just doing it for clout or attention or just for monetary gains, and your spirit is not really where crystals reside, then people are going to see straight through it. I mean, more people, I'm proud of more people for catching on. Some people I'm actually disappointed in, because I'll see the comment section and she's like, you can't wear tiger eye if you're an Aries. And in my live I say, if you're an Aries, you can wear tiger eye. You can wear any crystal. Listen, every zodiac sign can wear every crystal. Okay? There's no crystal that no one person can use. It depends on your situation. It depends on where you're at energetically. It depends where you're on in your spiritual journey, in your physical journey, in your mental journey, in your emotional journey. It doesn't matter. Whatever crystal is most helpful to you at the time is a crystal that you should base what crystal you should get, not your zodiac sign. If you want to do it for a trend, and I see people online, like, this is the downside of astrology. People are like, oh, yeah, I can just throw a plate on the ground and then yell and scream because I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries. I can do whatever I want. I don't get along with Gemini, and Gemini and I get into a fight, and we go head to head. When I see a Gemini, I fight the Gemini. Astrology is being poisoned online. Okay, that's the really sad thing about astrology, is because I've noticed it's become like a trend, and I've seen you guys have seen the same exact thing. And instead of fighting the trend and be like, hey, astrology is all angles. It's all different, and this is what pushes people away from astrology, is because a lot of people are just making a complete fool out of it. They're like, I'm an Aries. I'm aggressive. I'm fiery. And they'll just put a bad reputation on it, when literally astrology is purely science. It's a spiritual science. If the moon is able to move the entire tides of the ocean, and you're mostly water, humans are mostly water, if you don't think it's moving you, you should really reevaluate some of your knowledge and go back to different textbooks in middle school and then really look at that. But yeah, astrology is real. Crystals are real, energy is real, and I said in my last video, like, I remember I had stop going to certain clubs and areas when I was way back then, when people were like, yeah, bro, I think energy's real. They're like, energy's real, man. I'm just like, get me out of here. Like, I can't be around these people anymore. And then I separated myself from that, and I separated myself. I mean, keep in mind, I am telling you guys to not learn crystals based off of astrology. I mean, don't learn crystals based off of astrology. That's not going to be helpful to you. It's going to confuse you, if anything, and then you'll have wrong information. Information you have will be clashing, etc. You'll go to look up information online, and people teaching information based on basically, what crystal should I get for this zodiac sign? People flat out teach that completely incorrectly online. There's a right way to teach it, but if you're looking for authentic crystal information, check out the rest of my videos on my YouTube, and start with the crystal you need the most. I taught you guys a cool technique on how you can, it's a divination method to find out on which crystal you need the most. Another crystal that you can tell that you absolutely need the most is, look at a picture of a rainbow, find your two favorite colors in the rainbow, and find two colors you're like, I wish this was not a part of the rainbow. These two colors make me sick. The first two colors are the two crystals that, for example, you're more likely to want to work with, but not necessarily need to work with. So if you're like, okay, blue and purple are my favorite two colors, so you'll work with blue and purple crystals. They'll make you feel good, but it's not exactly what you should get first, or what you need, rather. So let's go to a crystal such as, you're like, okay, and most people when they look at a rainbow, they're like, I can't stand the orange and the yellow. Well, those two chakras are the ones you should work on the most, and you should work with citrine and carnelian the most. That's how you find out which crystal is most helpful for you, not like people making astrology a trend and just fully taking away from it, especially when there's different kinds of astrology and several different kinds of information on astrology online that's just flat out incorrect. I have seen people who, I'll make more videos in the future about astrology here and there when I'm finally comfortable about teaching it, because I'm studying it so much, and it's something you're not going to study or learn in one day or 1 year. Some people, I mean, if you think you can learn astrology in a day, you're not, I mean, that's not it. You have to live the astrology. And until you live it to a point where you're comfortable in making, basically seeing the same things over and over again, then okay. But if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I taught you some cool ways on how you can find out crystals that are going to be the most helpful to you, not just based off your zodiac sign, but based off what's going to help you and create the most change in your life. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!